Hey y'all, hey, and welcome to Drawing Conclusions with me, Christina B. I'm back today on this Friday for our usual murder mystery with a masterpiece, but to keep it hot, I was not in the right mental space to do a painting today. The art in me was just not feeling it, so we got a murder mystery sans masterpiece. This case is a crazy one. Well, it's a case of a child killing a parent. And if you're like me, in the beginning, it's going to get you a little upset, but it has a twist that comes back around and gives you what you need. So, let's discuss. Heather Mack was born to parents James Mack and Sheila Von Weiss Mack in 1995 in Chicago, Illinois. In 2006, on a family vacation to Athens, Greece, Heather's father, James, suffered a fatal heart attack. She was 10 at the time and blamed her mother for her father's death. She also felt like her mother was spending her money, aka her inheritance. She had inherited a good amount of money from her father that was supposed to be put in the trust from her for her, but when Sheila went to court regarding this trust, the money was given to her. Heather felt like she had tricked the courts into giving her this money. So this caused Heather and Sheila to have a troubled relationship. Sheila had filed many complaints against Heather for battery and theft. She also filed several missing persons cases or missing persons reports and truancy cases, which are cases of Heather not going to school, which parents can oftentimes be held responsible for because it's against the law to not go to school the correct amount of days or what have you. Heather was also accused of breaking her mother's ankle and arm. She was accused of biting her and assaulting her in a manner that caused marks and bruises. So she was just all around violent and abusive. But though the police was called to the home 86 times, Sheila never pressed charges. She never let the police take pictures of her injuries or make a report. But as the mother-daughter relationship continued to deteriorate, Heather met a boy, which of course made things worse, because what do you need when you have a tumultuous mother-daughter relationship? A toxic relationship with the daughter. That's just extra drama for no reason. Tommy Schaefer, Heather's new beau, was not liked by Sheila at all. She did not think that Tommy was somebody that Heather needed to be with. She even moved the family to a different part of town in order to try to separate the two and, facilitate them growing apart and breaking up. By August of 2014, Heather was 18 and pregnant by Tommy. As arguments continued, Sheila decided it would be a good idea for the two of them to go on a vacation. So she booked it to Bali and they were off. But instead of the two trying to patch things up, Sheila got a little too intoxicated on alcohol and painkillers, passed out. Heather thought this was a great time to take the credit card and book her boyfriend a first class flight to Bali as well as a really nice hotel room. Of course, when Sheila found out about this the next morning, she was pissed, notably, and her and Heather had a rather loud disagreement in the hotel lobby. Later that day, as Tommy and Heather were preparing to get into a cab to leave the hotel, to leave Bali, Sheila's body was found in a suitcase that they were putting into the trunk. They were, of course, detained and taken into custody to be questioned. They were detained for 48 hours before becoming formal prisoners, which is customary in Indonesia. So during the questioning, Tommy actually confessed to killing Sheila. He said that while they were in the hotel room, they had an argument where Sheila allegedly said that she was going to force Heather into terminating the pregnancy. This angered Tommy and he picked up a fruit bowl and hit her over the head, causing her to pass. Heather confessed to helping Tommy put her mother's body into a suitcase. Though at a later time, she would retract her statement and claim that her and Tommy were both innocent. It was alleged that Heather wanted Tommy to kill her mother in order for them to be able to get a hold of that $1.5 million trust fund. In January 2015, prosecutors formally charged Tommy and Heather with premeditated murder. Heather also tried to get the trust fund money, but her uncle had been made trustee of the fund just months before her mother's passing. So she sued him for it. And throughout the litigation, she was only able to get about $150,000, which would be used for her legal fees. The rest of the money, it was specifically stated that Heather would not be able to get any of the money or benefit from it in any way. And the money has been signed over to her daughter. She is now the sole beneficiary. On March 17th, 2015, Heather gives birth to her daughter, and she's able actually to raise her in the prison in Indonesia for the first 2 years of her life. On April 21st, in a unanimous verdict, Tommy and Heather are both found guilty of murder. Heather receives 10 years while Tommy gets 18. On September 23rd, Tommy's cousin, Robert Gibbs, was arrested on federal charges of conspiracy. It was alleged that he had given advice to Tommy and Heather on how to actually execute their plan. He pled guilty and was sentenced to 9 years. He's still serving his sentence and gets out, or is eligible to get out, I believe, in 2024. In 2017, Heather took to YouTube and posted a video that seemed like a confession. She said that she killed her mother and that she did so completely alone. She said the killing was revenge for her father's death and claimed her mother killed her father. Or that's what she believed. She also said that she used Tommy and basically set him up to take the fall for this. She apologized to him and said that she was sorry for doing that to him. Her attorney soon after released a statement that said that what she said in the video was false and recorded under pressure. So we're backpedaling. Heather served a total of 7 years and 2 months of her 10-year sentence, and she was released due to good behavior in October 2021. She talked in an interview about how excited she was to begin her new life with her 6-year-old daughter. She was ready to come back to the U.S. and, start anew. And this is the part where you should be pissed off, because I was like, first of all, you only got 10 years. You only got 10 years for murdering your mother. Then you get out early for good behavior. Also, she seems to have quite a good time in prison. Like, when she was released, she was, of course, deported from Indonesia. You can't just commit crimes in countries and stay there. So she was deported back to the U.S., where she was immediately arrested upon her landing at O'Hare Airport. She is charged with conspiracy to commit murder in a foreign country and obstruction of justice. She's facing life in prison for the conspiracy charge and up to 20 years for the obstruction one. She pled not guilty when she made her first appearance. Her lawyer is accusing authorities of making a spectacle of her return to the States, which caused her to have to make other arrangements for her daughter. She originally planned for them to go to California when she originally came back to the U.S. because there's a family that she wanted her daughter to be able to stay with there in California. But instead she had to come to Chicago, so that changed her plans, which inevitably caused her daughter to have to be placed under guardianship with this attorney, so that she didn't have to go into foster care or be taken into CPS, which of course is not ideal. So I get that part as a mother, but at the same time, how much consideration do you get as a murderer? I mean, I do get as people, we still deserve a certain level of respect, but he said the way they handled the situation was inappropriate and reprehensible. The lawyer also claims that these charges are only brought against Heather because authorities weren't satisfied with the sentence that she was given in Bali. Which, yeah. Because if she had been given 25 years, nobody would have said anything because, that's a just sentence. But you got 10 years and only did 7. Yeah, they're upset that you didn't do enough time. They don't feel like that was justice for killing your mother, which I don't either. Why would you only get 7 years? And you clearly did it. So for these reasons, he intends to have the charges thrown out. He'll be filing a motion to do so anyway. But also, I forgot to mention when I was speaking of Heather's daughter, though she's under guardianship with this family attorney, her grandmother Tommy Schaefer's mother says that she wants custody of the child and she plans to file paperwork to actually gain guardianship of this child. But I will note that she tried to get guardianship of the baby when the child was 2, because Heather was able to keep the child in prison for 2 years. So when the child was 2, she needed somebody for the child to stay with. And the grandmother filed for guardianship then as well and was denied. And the daughter ended up staying with an Australian family, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. I could have misread. But anyway, the daughter ended up staying with a different family than the grandmother. And it didn't say why she was denied this guardianship. So that's curious to me. And it makes me wonder if she will be granted guardianship now. She did say that she hadn't seen the child since the day that the child was born. And the child was born on her birthday, actually, which is special. But I don't know if she'll be able to gain guardianship at this point. The baby is 6. Not a baby. The child is 6. So I don't know. But yeah, that's the whole case. What do y'all think? Do you think that she's going to be convicted of these charges and spend the rest of her life in prison? Or do you think she's still going to get off? The lawyer did say that there's some law where you can't be charged in the U.S. for an international crime. I also did not look that up, but I should have. They were supposed to go back to court like January 18th. But I don't think that occurred because I didn't see any articles or any like news breaks that recent. The most recent one was like in December. So I'm thinking maybe something happened with COVID or something such as that, and they weren't able to go back to court. I do think she's going to get convicted. Do I think she's going to spend the rest of her life in prison? I don't know. I feel like they're going to have to reduce the charge down from murder down to something lesser, and maybe she'll take a plea deal or something like that. But I don't think she's going to be convicted on what they have initially charged her for. So it'll be interesting to see how the prosecution is going to have to play this one, because I personally don't know what the laws are with international crimes, but it seems like the lawyer may have something with that clause. And, instead of just having to or trying to dismiss the case or fully acquit her, they may offer some kind of deal wherein, maybe she does another 10, 15 years in prison. And that's better than nothing. So we'll see. Also, Tommy Schaefer is still in prison in Indonesia and Bali. He's still serving his 18-year sentence. The prosecution in Chicago do plan to charge him with these same things that Heather has been charged with whenever he makes it back to the U.S. as well. But thank you so much for joining me this evening. Thank you so much for spending some time. Please like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Comment down below. Talk shit if you got to. I love you. Be great. Be you. I'll see you soon.